Welcome to today's web session. What's new with Adaptive? My name is Mark Wagner, and I am a senior consultant with Armanino. I'm going to take you through some exciting new features and enhancements recently released. This video will focus on adaptive planning updates, which are now available to all customers. There are updates to the following modules: Modeling and Planning, Reporting and Discovery, Office Connect, and Consolidation. As you can see, there are a number of changes to the modeling and planning functionalities. We will dive into all of these topics. Let's start with flexible time modeling. The biggest change in this release by far is the support of flexible time modeling. At last, you can have total flexibility to set up your fiscal years the way you want and to be able to plan on the weekly and daily levels. Flexible time modeling allows you to define at what level you want to plan and report actuals, then decide how those time levels roll up to the next level. You now have total control that allows you to define things like the elusive 13-period calendar or creating 4 13-week periods. Restaurant chains can plan on a daily level to help capture metrics between holidays, weekdays, and weekends. Educational leaders can now create calendars that match school year schedules. Flexible time modeling allows you to define up to 8 time roll-ups or strata, plan at the week level, and roll up data into quarterly periods and then fiscal years. You can now define the first day of the fiscal year. The new feature also gives you the flexibility to import your custom calendar, making it easy to define complex scenarios for your organization. If you've ever had to read, or let alone write an if statement that needed to evaluate several conditions, you'd know that nested ifs can get pretty tricky pretty quickly. To alleviate the time spent in dealing with complex nested if statements, switch statements can be used to list evaluation criteria quickly, logically, and cleanly. Simply set up the switch statement by identifying the value to evaluate, and list the multiple criteria and corresponding results if true. It's easy. Switch statements can be used with strings, numbers, or dates. You can see an example display. Last version's formula enhancements. This version adds support for powerful new functions. First is the range function that's used inside a switch that serves to evaluate a value against a range so that your switch statements can stay compact. You can also now return a blank value in your formulas, allowing you to populate a cell with a true blank value rather than having it return a 0. A number of time formula enhancements have been made as well. Position of replaces version month and fiscal month functions. The addition of time codes now allow you to evaluate time using the new flexible time modeling features of this release. Similar to account codes, time codes can be used inside formulas to allow a formula to vary based on its location. Another important new feature is the complete access to metadata for objects in Adaptive. That means that the properties of accounts and levels are fully accessible inside formulas. For example, you can access an account's name, account type, and even description. Similar in use case to linking standard accounts, you can now link cube accounts to other cube sheets or modeled sheets. By doing so, common dimensions are automatically linked between the linking cube sheet account and the target model or cube sheet. Linking cube sheets together and basing formulas off values from outside the cube sheet don't require the same trigger formulas that is used to alleviate the formula must evaluate to 0 error. Dimension attributes can now be used for filtering data. Let's say you have added a location state dimension to your modeled sheet and need to add a new row. If you created a location region dimension attribute that divided states up by region, you could add this attribute to the modeled sheet too. This enables a new feature that will filter your dimensions using the attribute. So if you first select the location region dimension attribute value of, let's say, Southwest, then your dimension list will only display possible dimensions that have been tagged Southwest. For example, the list would only display CA, NV, AZ, CO, UT, and NM. Similar to the previous release that added the ability to display dimension attributes on the modeled sheet, you can now display level attributes as well. These are read-only display columns that add a visual look into details for levels. We can see here sales and marketing. Time administration allows those with a new time admin permission to create and manage locales that allow for differing time labels by location. You can also export the time structure, extend time forward or backward for calendars, import or export time labels by locale, and view the time structures that power the flexible time modeling. In this new screen, you can see the default locale for time labels, view and search the time structure, and see the rollup schema. There have been 3 significant changes to the reporting and discovering modules. There has been a refresh to the reporting user interface. Also, within the reporting model, the display as function has been expanded and enhanced. Finally, the discovery user interface has also seen improvements. Let's jump in. Here are some visual and functional enhancements to adaptive reporting. First off is the Report Viewer UI refresh. The Report Viewer has been updated to look consistent with the rest of Adaptive Insights and its user experience. There is a new toolbar with refreshed icons. There is also now the ability to display notes in line with report rows instead of footnotes. Along with the display as function for percentage and value, there is a new custom function that enables custom calculations to be used. This lets you, for example, use an if statement to generate values in a column using different formulas on different rows, or to define the denominator differently for different rows. Another common scenario would be to show the value of the account on the row as a percentage of an account grouping by attribute. New in this release is a whole new look and feel for discovery, including a new editing pane that simplifies editing dashboard charts. There is also a new dashboard and perspective view that both simplify and enhance the user experience to get the metrics you need quickly and easily. New for this release are new charts such as funnel, donut, and pyramid. All features of Discovery also support the new flexible time modeling. It is important to note that a request will have to be made to adaptive support in order to begin using the new Discovery module. The Office Connect module has seen some improvements when it comes to cut, copy, and paste, as well as the overall user experience. I will walk you through these now. You can now cut, copy, and paste elements from Office Connect reports into other locations within the same worksheet or within the same workbook. You can now cut, copy, or paste one or many cells, rows, and columns at a time. The cut, copy, and paste ability can be executed using the context menu from the ribbon or by using the shortcut keys displayed. This release also includes a few enhancements to Office Connect that simplify the user experience and make things more consistent. There are several terminology changes to make note of. Book is now workbook, sheet is now worksheet, and parameter is now filter. Currently, you can apply worksheet filters, formerly parameters, but the new release allows you to set a filter for the whole workbook. The Consolidation module has seen enhancements in relation to weighted average transactions as well as currency translation adjustments. The weighted average currency translation gives you the ability to translate a value using a weighted average method for your GL or custom accounts. Used with the master formulas, this feature lets you better translate balance sheet accounts. Before this release, cumulative translation adjustments were only available at roll-up levels. You can now calculate CTA at all levels. There were a number of more advanced changes made during this update. I want to first quickly highlight the new online help pages before returning to the other listed items. In order to assist those in need of immediate help, Adaptive Insights has implemented a new online help system. This will facilitate the move away from PDFs so that all help pages are in HTML and online. No more downloading PDFs. Help links have been cleaned up and consolidated into a single help link. With HTML help pages come better search and filtering that enables drill down and topical searches. With a new contextual search feature, clicking into the question mark at the top right of any page takes you to a topic relevant to the page you are on. For example, if you click the help icon within a modeled sheet, you'll be presented with the types of sheets help page. You will then be able to navigate to the appropriate sheet via a hyperlink. For discussion of the remaining advanced changes, please reach out to your adaptive consultant for an overview of these new features and upgrades. You can also reference the new and improved help function available to you by clicking on support from the navigation icon within your adaptive model. So that's it for today. These exciting new features are live now in all instances. Please join us for future webcasts discussing new features and helpful hints to improve your user experience within Adaptive Insights. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me or anyone on my team with additional questions. I hope you have enjoyed learning about these new features and have a great day.